In this video we're going to look at solving a range of equations for the unknown variable. So the first one here, the unknown variable is x, so we need to find a number that we can add to 4 that will equal 6. We can do this simple one by trial and error because it is a simple one, but as the problems get harder, that trial and error approach doesn't work and we need to follow a specific algorithm to solve these types of problems. So for trial and error, what adds to 4 to get to 6? We can see that 2. So in this case x equals 2 because 2 plus 4 equals 6. But how do we do that with a more rigorous approach so when we get a harder problem we can solve it? Well, we isolate the x. So if we write down the x plus the 4, we can take away the 4, that is no problem. But we also need to do the same to the right hand side of the equation. So whatever we do to the left, we need to do to the right. What does 4 take 4? That is simply 0, and 6 take 4 is 2. So we're left with, on the left hand side, x equals 2, which is our answer. So that is a more structured approach to solving an equation. We are isolating the x variable by carrying out the opposite operation to get rid of the numbers that are on the same side as the x. Let's take a look at this one. We have t take 4 equals 6. So let's write down the t, and we need to get rid of this 4 that's on the same side as the t on the left hand side of the equation. So the opposite of a minus is a plus. So if we have a 4 and we plus a 4, we added a 4 to the left hand side, we need to add a 4 to the right hand side. Remember, what we do to one side of the equation we need to do to the other side of the equation. In this case we added 4. So negative 4 plus a 4, that is 0. So all this is 0. 6 plus 4 is 10. So we have t equals 10. We can check our answer here. 10 take 4, what does that equal? That equals 6, which is what we want on the right hand side. So you can see a bit of a trend here. We do, if we have to get rid of the numbers that are on the same side as the variable, we're doing the opposite to get rid of that number. So in this case, negative 4, we're adding a 4. In this case it was a positive 4, we're taking away a 4. Number 3, we have 2 multiplied by x. This is the same as 2 times x plus 4 equals 10. So this is one term, this is another term, and this is another term. We'll keep the 2x just there for the time being, and we'll get rid of this 4. So this is a plus 4, we need to take away 4. So we have plus 4 take away 4 equals 10 take 4. This will cancel out, so we're left with 2x equals 6. But now we have this 2 here, so that's 2 times x equals 6. Now the opposite of a times is a divide. We're seeing here the opposite of a negative is a plus, and the opposite of a plus here is a negative. But the opposite of a multiplication is a divide. So if we divide by 2 on the left hand side and the right hand side, we can see that will cancel the 2. That cancels with that. 2 divided by 2 is simply 1. So we have 1x, or just x by itself. So we have, let's write it here, run out of room here, x equals 6 over 2, or 6 divided by 2, that is equal to 3. So our solution is x equals 3. So we can check it. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 plus 4 equals 10. That is correct. The next one, we have x divided by 2, or x over 2 plus 1 equals 6. Notice we had the opposite of times or multiplication is a divide, and we have a divide here. So we're going to be using the opposite of divide, which is times. So the opposite of divide is times. But firstly, I want to get rid of this plus 1. So let's leave the x over 2 there. And we have plus 1, we want to get rid of it, so we take away 1. And we do the same to the right hand side. That is x over 2 plus 1, that cancels to 0. And we have the right hand side is 5. But we have this 2 here, beside dividing into the x. So we need to do the opposite of divide, which is times. And we need to times it by 2. I'm just using brackets here just to represent the 2 times this term in brackets. But we need to do the same to the right hand side. So what happens on the left hand side? We have this thing here, which is 2 x over 2. This is the same as this. 2 times x is 2x, and 1 times 2 is 2. We can see here this is the same as 2 over 2 times x. What is 2 over 2? It is simply 1. So we have 1x, which is equal to x. So on the left hand side we have x equals 5 times 2 is 10. We can check our answer. 10 divided by 2 is 5. 5 plus 1 is 6. So that is correct. Number 5, 3m, or 3 times m plus 2 times m plus 2 equals 7. So in this case we need to combine all the like terms. So 3m plus 2m equals 5m plus 2 equals 7. Now we can get rid of this 2 here, so we need to subtract 2. So 5m plus 2 take 2 equals 7 take 2. This here will cancel out to 0, and we have 5m equals 7 take 2 is 5. We have a 5 times m. Remember, the opposite of times is division. So we need to divide by 5 on the left hand side and the right hand side. Remember, that will cancel out. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So 1 times m is m. You have m equals 5 over 5 is 1. So our answer is 1. We can check it. 3 times 1 is 3. Plus 2 times 1 is 2. So 3 plus 2 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. So it equals the right hand side, which is the correct answer. Our next one, we have x divided by 3, or x over 3, plus 2x plus 3 equals 10. Let's firstly get rid of this 3 on the bottom line here. So remember, the opposite of a divide is a times. So to get rid of this 3, we need to times it by 3. So let's times it by 3. Now we need to times it by 3 every single term must be times by 3. What we do to the left hand side, we have to do to the right hand side, but we have to do it to every single term if there are multiple terms on either side. So we have 1 term, 2 terms, 3 terms, 4 terms. We have to multiply 3 on all these terms. So this will cancel out with that, will leave us with x plus 3 times 2x is 6x plus 3 times 3 is 9 equals 3 times 10 is 30. We can see we've simplified the equation a little bit by getting rid of that 3 in the denominator. Now we can join like terms. X plus 6x is 7x plus 9 equals 30. Now we can get rid of this plus 9, so we have 7x. If we've got a plus 9, remember the opposite of plus is minus, so we take away 9 on the left hand side and we take away 9 on the right hand side. So that'll vanish on the left. 30 take 9 is 21. We have a times here, 7 times x. The opposite of times is divide. So we divide 7 on the left hand side because there's only that one term there. 7 divided by 7 will cancel out and leave us with the x. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So our answer is 3. This one here, 10 plus 2 over g equals 2. The first job is to get rid of this plus 10. So we need to subtract 10 on the left hand side and subtract 10 on the right hand side. So 2 over g, subtracting 10 on the left will make that vanish. And subtracting 10 on the right hand side, 2 take away 10 is negative 8. Now we have 2 divided over g, or 2 divided by g. Remember the opposite of divide is times. So we need to, now g is on the bottom line. We need to have it on the top line to see what it is equal to. So we need to get that g on the top somehow. So we have a divide, and we know the opposite of divide is times. So if we times g on the left hand side and we times g on the right hand side, we'll notice that the g and the g will cancel out because we know that the same thing divided by the same thing over the same thing is equal to 1. And so that'll leave us with 2 there, and we have negative 8g there. Notice we've now got the g on the top line. There's no division by g. So we're getting closer to the answer. But we need to get rid of this 8. The opposite of times is divide. So we need to divide the right hand side and the left hand side by negative 8. So negative 8, negative 8. We know that these two will vanish and we'll be left with g on the right hand side, and we have 2 over 8. That is the answer, but we can simplify, and 2 into 2 goes once, and 2 into negative 8 goes negative 4 times, and we can put the negative just out the front there. So we have negative 1/4 equals g. Number 8, we have some brackets here. So in this particular case, we can expand the brackets. So multiply the 4 by each term inside the brackets there. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 2 is 8. We have a plus in the middle. And that equals 3. Now we need to get rid of this plus 8. So 4x, that's a plus. We need to take away 8 from the left and take away 8 from the right. So 3 take 8 is negative 5. Now we have the 4 multiplied by x equals negative 5. That's a times, so we need to divide the left by 4 and divide the right by 4. Divide the left by 4, that will vanish the 4, and divide the right by 4, that will give us this fraction here, which is the answer. The next one here, we have 6 plus 2 times this term in brackets. So we have 3 terms here, 1, 2, and 3. Let's write down the 6 and multiply out the brackets there, get rid of the brackets. So 2 times 1 is positive 2, and a 2 times negative f is a negative 2f. So we have negative 2f equals 3. Now we can join the like terms or combine the like terms. Let's combine all the numbers on the left. We have 6 plus 2 is 8, take away 2f equals 3. Let's get this positive 8 on, eliminate it. So the opposite of a positive is a negative. Take away 8 from the left and take away 8 from the right. So we have negative 2f equals 3, take 8, which is negative 5. We have a multiplication here. The opposite of a multiplication is a divide. So we need to divide by negative 2 on the left hand side, divide by negative 2 on the right hand side. I'm going to go over here because I've run out of space. This will vanish, those negative 2's on the left, and we're left with f equals negative 5 over negative 2. The negatives will cancel and we're left with 5 over 2 as our answer. The last one here, we have x plus this term here plus another term here. So we have 1, 2, 3 terms plus 1 term on the right hand side. So let's firstly expand out these brackets here. We have x plus 2 times x is 2x. 2 times a positive 2x is 2 times 2 is 4, so that's 4x. And then we have a plus 3 equals 4. Let's combine all these x terms. So 1x plus 2x plus 4x is 5, 6, 7x plus 3 equals 4. We've now eliminated it down to 1, 2, 3 terms. Let's get this 3 out of there. So positive 3, let's take away the 3 on the left hand side, take away the 3 on the right hand side. 7x equals 4, take 3, which is 1. 7 times x, the opposite of multiplication, is a divide. So let's divide by 7 on the left, divide by 7 on the right. The 7 will vanish, leave us with x equals 1 over 7. So that is our solution. So that is a quick look at how to solve different types of equations using an algorithm there, Pacific methodology.